Corey, or Corey,
We're ready.
exactly.
All right. It's called the July
So
9th,
that's not something.
26th meeting of the Richland County Commission to order. Pledge allegiance.
Father, thank you tonight for the privilege of living in this great nation. Pray for our nation, we pray for our leaders, we pray for our county, we pray for this meeting. Well, we do in this. Thank you for your love, all you do for us.
Brian Van Blairgum,
Present.
Dennis Graves,
Present.
Alexis McFarland,
Present.
Cindy Gibbon,
Present.
No.
Morgan Hinton, Steve Schonert,
Present.
Travis Paddock.
Present. Quorum is present. All right. Welcome to all our guests. Thank you for coming this evening. Do we have any changes to the agenda?
Yeah, I would like 11A moved to after 15.
Okay. Anything else? No other changes in somebody
Actually,
like
11A or 10A?
Just kidding.
10.
10. Okay.
Thanks, Steve.
I wonder why you did
That removed my right to complain about the meeting started at 21.
So it's 10A you moved?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
yeah, not my way first.
I wondered what he was saying.
Just keep moving.
Make comment.
Okay. Any other changes to the agenda?
Motion to approve.
Okay, got a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, agenda is approved. Information, correspondence, upcoming meetings.
There will be a 7:08 mental health board meeting next Wednesday at noon here at the Sheriff's Conference Room. And then I will be attending the National County Conference next week. It starts Thursday, goes through Monday. Representing Richland County and I guess also Illinois, because we do have an Illinois County board member who is running for a national conference position. So I will be going to that.
911 board meeting Wednesday, July 22nd, 9 a.m. at the fire station.
Anything else? Not, we will move on to open. Don't think we have anybody signed in for public comment. So we will roll on to consent agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
A motion in a second. Anybody want to discuss anything? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Steve?
First, we reviewed the claims for this month, and we had some last minute late claims. So with those late claims, we have total county claims of $142,743.23. Largest being a GBS bill through the election fund for the regular payments we make to GBS from county on behalf of the county clerk. And then for non-county claims, we had $742,957.01. With the largest change there was for the repair bill for a truck for $27,296.62 that we're paying out of the capital projects fund based on the recommendation from Road and Bridge. And So 742,957.01. So I make a motion to approve these claims.
Okay. We got a motion to approve claims
Second.
and a second. Call the roll, please.
Dennis Graves,
Yes.
Alexis McFarland,
Yes.
Cindy Given,
Yes.
Steve Shonert,
Yes.
Brian Van Blarkum,
Yeah.
Travis Maddox.
Yes. Motion passes.
Just a couple of comments, I guess, under finance. Again, we got our Blue Cross Blue Shield premium proposal for the next fiscal year. I guess that will take effect in October. The finance committee will be reviewing that. Because we just got that late let's see, got it Tuesday, I guess. So we'll be reviewing that information, making, get back to the board on that. And then just a comment on the raises for the state's attorney, public defender, and sheriff. It was about a 4.1% raise over last year, which kind of falls in line with what we've been seeing overall for other raises. So that's just a comment. I think that's all that I've got for now. Now I'll make a comment on that later, I guess, on, yeah, 13, I'll comment on that, below on that later. Okay, that's all I've got.
All right. Thank you, Steve. Gets us to sheriff's report. Andy's not here. So that gets us down to the state's attorney.
Thank you. I sent an email earlier this month stating that, we hired a part-time assistant state's attorney, Rob Roth, and he has started, I think this is his second week on the job, and is doing really well, and, especially given the circumstances this week, very, very happy to have him on board, and whatever help he can provide. As far as a discussion of the activities of the state's attorney's office this past month, and for June of 2026, we had 571 cases that we prosecuted through court. That included 234 felonies. We had 118 new cases filed in June for Richland County. We resolved by guilty plea or conviction 83 cases in June. So we've been very, very busy. And I always have a breakdown. I get a breakdown every month as to what agencies filed what cases. If you guys are ever interested in that, I'd be happy to share that with you. I like accumulating and looking at that data at the end of every month. The only other issue I just wanted to discuss, and it's probably for future discussion, but just wanted to bring it up today, is we're having a lot more litigation in the office. We're trying to hold firm on hold people more accountable at times for more serious offenses, which sometimes brings more litigation. And for the 2026 budget, our litigation budget is $0. And our murder trial budget is $1,000. However, we have to use that. We have an upcoming child pornography trial that involves submission of pornography through electronic means, which means that we have laptops and cell phones that need to be dumped and extracted to find this. Those experts come from out of state a lot of times, so we are arranging hotel reservations and travel expenses for those experts. That we'll have to use the murder budget for that. So, likely at the end of August, our litigation budget will be $0 from the beginning of the year. Our murder budget for murder litigation will be $0. I just charged 6 counts of first-degree murder this week. And that we will likely have $0 in the budget. So that's just something to think about. We can maybe resolve that in the future.
Well, originally, just to comment on that, originally, I think we knew that, and we were going to use our, what's the term? Contingency fund, thank you,
That's okay.
to make an amendment. Well, we've kind of blown through the contingency budget with our purchase of real estate. So yeah, Finance Committee needs to look at that. But that, just for
Sure.
your information, when we were budgeting, we knew we didn't put anything in there because cases like that normally don't happen that often. We thought, well, rather than throw that in your budget every year, we would set that, or pull that out of the contingency fund, which was about $200,000. So like I said, this year with the purchase of the real estate, our contingency fund is kind of blown up. So
Right.
we've been having discussions on how we're going to amend the budgets for this year, but yeah, we're
starting to incur expenses already on that. However, that's something that we're just gonna have to continue to address as we go through 2026 and beyond. So I just wanted to bring it up tonight, just to get it in your minds. I'm sure we'll be able to figure it out. That's it for me. Thanks.
thank you.
Thank you, Mary Beth. All right, that gets us to animal control. Andrew?
Yes, so Roy just got air conditioning, in, it's not all, it's cool in there, so it's going, just have all the extras and stuff like the fresh air intake, and we still have to do. So it is disappointing with air conditioning, but, maybe another thing for. What? No, I didn't get a bill for that, so.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay.
I don't think I'll be getting one, but, Air's doing good, and, Amanda, you called about the city hall, where's the pain? They haven't found anything, but. Why, to see what's going on. Justin, our dear part-time help, Justin's been a huge help, as well as Dale too. Dennis, you had some comments about how you drove by.
It looks good.
To clarify, because, we've got people watching. So Justin's been doing landscape. Like, we all know what's going on, but it just, yeah. Might be some citizens out there who be like, I don't know what that is.
So again, we appreciate, I think I said this during our public safety meeting, but again, appreciate what you guys do to help out, because it's a thankless job. So I do appreciate the efforts and the work that you work, making things go smoothly out there.
Thank you, Andrew. It's just to highway business,
We discussed that on as far as 11A, we discussed that at Finance Committee. I think what we're looking for there is a recommendation from the Road and Bridge Committee. We did budget some monies for a new vehicle out of the Capital Projects Fund. We did use that for the motor vehicle, part of that for the motor vehicle. So again, we just, if there is, and Danny was kind of explaining before he left that he's going to be putting together a capital budget, needs budget here for the next upcoming year. So it sounds like he's good for this year as far as vehicle needs. But we'll be taking a hard look at that when we put together our budget for the next fiscal year. So really no action items on that.
that gets us down to board committee reports. Corey?
I don't have much, it is and at the request of the IT committee, I did provide a report of the previous 3 months. There's not much to add, beyond what we've already talked about, but just as a quick recap, we did roll out our no before fishing training. We had a 85% completion rate on the training. Across the organization, we only have like a 1% click rate, which is one person. So that's actually solid. I feel pretty good about that, security wise. We have some initiatives coming up. We talked about, piloting ChatGPT and seeing if we can get some office holders using that. Going into 2027, I think we need to start using it more and more. I know there's a lot of mixed feelings on it, but the fact of the matter is, for what we do, it makes things incredibly efficient. There's a lot of work, so less workload usually means less hire. Keep that factor. Other than that, I've been working religiously on getting SharePoint up and running. SharePoint is gonna replace our file server, which is local file storage. That's gonna be on Microsoft's platform, so that would it just makes the management and, access control a lot easier. We can have a little more insight into access as well. So for instance, somebody were to get to something they weren't supposed to, like personnel files, we could figure that out. Right now, we got the way out of it. So, I expect that to be completed before, the end of the fiscal year. And I am, adding online website forms. I believe I talked to Sandy about that directly. So for certain forms, we'll be able to direct people to the website. They'll simply be able to, it won't be like filling out a PDF with the form build. We're actually going to create a form for each PDF and map those entries to the people. So it should make it a little bit easier, reduce the foot traffic in the courthouse, and make it easier for people who can't get around to get those things submitted. And they'll also, when you complete them on the website, they'll be routed to the appropriate office or offices. We can also do that with, applications or whatever. So county specific stuff, state stuff, federal stuff, should ease the burden on some of the constituents who might have trouble getting here. And last but not least, the website continues to be utilized. Over the last 3 months, we had 9,000 active users on the website, and that's people that weren't bots. Make that distinction. The treasurers, assessors, and reporters offices, as well as our new document storage, were by and far the most frequently accessed. We continue to add everything that we can to the website, including the agendas. Anything that gets asked for and sent to my office, it's full. So, that's all I have. Any question for me?
When you say that many users, is that external users and not internal?
When you say external users, there's no distinction between, with the website's just a public area. So that's anybody who's touched the website and had organic activity out there. By organic, I mean, it's not purely a bot scraping data, which, there's thousands of those. So we take that metric out of there, and we're only looking at activity that's a user actually doing something on the website, not somebody that went there and got off of there in 5 seconds. It has to have some sort of activity, like clicking through pages, downloading a document. But yeah, we can be confident that the majority of those are actual people.
Where are they scraping?
Huh?
Where are they scraping?
I would have to drill down, and I never have. We bots scrape all sorts of stuff. Different bots have different purposes. So it's like emails, names, contact information. Sometimes they use it to generate Facebook business pages, not nowadays, but that's the kind of stuff that bots do. Anything that they can automate out. But it's nothing nefarious for the most part. We don't keep things that could use against us on the website. So people's super personal information. The worst case scenario is they get an office phone number or anybody. So any other questions? Excellent.
I just wondered if there was anything you see.
No, nothing to see. Let's hope there's not. That's usually the best.
Thanks, Cory. Any other board committee report? If not, that gets us to old business.
All right, it's me again, I guess. Discuss solar and wind ordinance. Again, I was hoping maybe to at least bring forth a recommendation. I am not ready to do that, but I need to get a feel from the rest of the board members, because the proposals that we've got, I mean, there is some expense, and the way I understand it, that we can write into the ordinances, get reimbursed or make that part of the application fee. I need clarification on that. And so I guess we've got a proposal from firm that Luke Hahn, which would be Tim's son, works for as far as an engineering firm, and so they would be involved. I was hoping Danny would be here. They would be involved in engineering studies and things like that. And then we also got a proposal from Bellwether. Basically, they're wanting a flat fee up front to help us revise the ordinances. I think their fee was $6,000 for that, whereas Luke, they work with an attorney that drafts other ordinances for other communities. And I think their fee was running $2,500, but there's differences on what the services provide, and that's what the finance committee needs to sort through. I guess I just need a feel from the rest of the board members. So we go ahead and continue to pursue getting an outside consultant to help us with these solar and wind ordinances. It is going to cost us some upfront money to do that, most likely. I just want to make sure before the finance committee devotes some extra time and looking at these proposals and communicating with at least the two of them. Is there a feel that we need to continue to pursue that? I mean, is solar and wind still a thing, or is that kind of now with some of the grants and things gone that we're not going to see the activity there anymore?
I mean, I think it's still a thing. I think with the state changing laws constantly, it's something we need to pay attention to.
Yeah. I mean, it used to be that we get, or at least my mom would get probably something on solar every month. Are you still getting
I'm
those?
still getting stuff every week,
Okay.
so they're still going for it.
Okay. Well, that's what I know. I mean, I haven't seen anything for a while, so I don't know if she passed away, she's not on that any list anymore or what. But if you guys are still getting it, I
I'm
guess.
still getting stuff.
Okay.
It's calmed down on my end, but yeah, there's still a few out there.
So we need,
So I guess, Steve, what exactly are you after? What is your thought process
again,
as a revenue source?
not, I don't think so, no. I mean, basically I don't see how much we'd get a little bit of revenue. Most of the revenue that we get would be turned around and paid out for consulting fees. So it's not going to be able to generate us revenue, but it would be able to help us as far as sorting through to see if there's anything we need to take in consideration when we're looking at these projects. I mean, we feel that the state basically is saying, basically have to rubber stamp it, what we're getting like from Bellwether and maybe the engineering firm is, no, there are some things we can put into these ordinances and into these applications to at least make sure that we've got our bases covered and that we're not. I know Danny was concerned when he was involved in the proposals that he was getting calls all the time. Because it would basically, you'd have the front company basically doing the initial proposal, and then they would sell it to another party. And so Danny would be getting calls again as far as his application and what they had to do to abide by the contract. So he was just getting covered with calls and requests for information. So we would get that out of his hands and turn it over to the engineering firm and to the attorney and Bellwether.
Do we know what surrounding counties are doing
No,
with it as well?
no, and that's, I think, some of the legwork we need to do to check to see what some of our regional firms are doing, or regional.
I know some surrounding counties have gone with Bellwether.
So that's what we do need to get that, and I guess, but that's going to take some time on our part, and I just want to make sure if you think we need to go ahead and continue to pursue it. So if we're still getting applications, the farmer or area farmers are still getting applications, solicitations, then we probably need to continue pursuing it. Because again, I don't want to cover Danny up with these that really, it's not his wheelhouse, so I think we need to probably try to get a
If
consultant.
you're asking for feedback, yeah, I don't mind working with Luke at all.
Okay.
Sounds like it'd be a little cheaper if he's using people that's got experience
Right.
in that.
Mhm.
also like local, a little
Yeah.
better than I do.
Okay.
Know where they're from, but
Well, I think the finance committee needs to look at that, and then also the facilities committee needs to look at that as well. So I'll try to coordinate that and move forward with that so that we can come up with a proposal for this board as far as signing a contract. So, all right, that's all I want to discuss there. Just needed some feedback. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Steve. I guess that gets us to new business. Do we have any new business?
Motion to enter executive session for the purpose of, just kidding.
Travis, did,
Ted?
yes, Ted. if
Yeah,
you
I
got-
guess, Ted, do you have
Ted,
anything
you
for
got-
us?
No, just what I gave you guys, and, already emailed the office about it, set up with finance.
All right.
And actually, stuff I don't know.
Okay, well, thanks for stopping.
Sorry, I didn't want him to
Yeah,
be.
no, you're good, thank you.
Motion to enter executive session for the purpose of discussing personnel.
Well, second.
Good, got a motion in a second. Call roll, please.
Alexis McFarland,
Yes.
Wendy Given,
Yes.
Steve Schonert,
Yes.
Brian Van Blarkum,
Yes.
Dennis Graves,
Yes.
Travis Cock.
Yes.
Yes. No.